Hello, everyone. Welcome to Line Breakers, show number 12. My name's Game Day Greg alongside Benny Buckets. We are happy to be back for a NFL Week 9 full preview and picks. If you guys forgot, we haven't been on for a little bit. We do one pick per game. We preview every game for you guys. And we love doing it. So then we'll give you our three best bets, our three player props. And then we're gonna incorporate two new segments for you guys this week. We're gonna do what were they thinking and an upset special, and we'll go over that when we get to the segment, when we get to those segments after our picks.
Yes.
But yeah, no, I'm really excited for this week. It's gonna be a fun week 9, and looking forward to get going here. So Benny Buckets, how are you today?
I'm good. Game Day. I also wanted to cover. Thank you for that. I'm wearing the old Cavs hat in honor of my Buffalo / Great Lakes roots here. So go Cavs. They are off to a better start this year than they have been than people expected. So Colin Sexton and Jared Allen. Jared Allen of the $20 million a year contract paying off dividends so far. Anyway, but I also wanted to cover since we're covering some of the new stuff. We will have a Twitter account here, a Twitter page. It will be up. We know we referenced it in yesterday's college football preview. It will be up and running Monday, so we will have our Monday daily picks for you guys. Again, as a reminder, we do 3 daily picks Monday through Friday, and then on the weekends during football season, we do 5 picks because there's football in addition to hockey and basketball going on. In addition, as you guys may know, Tuesday night, I believe, is the opening night of college basketball season. So we get another sport in the fray here. And as you know from my college football, how I like those lower divisions. Well, let me tell you, we go from 120 or 130 college football to about 400 college basketball. So I will be hammering the American George Washington University totals for you guys. So I know that's something you guys are really looking forward to. It is must-see content.
Yes,
so we will have that up. So just as a reminder, so 3 picks Monday through Friday. We'll do we'll also post our daily picks on Saturday and Sunday. In addition to that, we will also post on probably one day two tweets for you. So we'll have our NFL picks in addition to our daily picks, and our college picks in addition to our daily picks for that given day whenever we post or we record. So looking forward to it. It's a new wrinkle. We got, like Game Day said, we've got what were the bookies thinking, or what were they thinking? And we got the upset special. That will also be a new wrinkle here on Line Breakers. We will incorporate that as well into our college football next week. It's easier to pick the upset special, as you would imagine, in college because, well, there's 3 times as many college games typically on a Saturday than there is NFL games on the weekends. But anyway, we will move it right along here, and we're going to get started. I'm going to just recap where we're at, both for last week and the season standings. And then, of course, next week we'll have the upset special results for you as well. That'll also be part of our recaps and our stats. So to start off here, we'll start off with Game Day Greg. He had a very good week. It was over 500 yet again on the weekends, over 500 on the season. So last week he went 8-6-1. Overall, he was 39-33-1. In his best bets, he went 1-2 for the year. In his best bets, 10-8, folks. So very good showing at a Game Day. Player props came up a little short, but 0-3, but still a respectable 8-10 for the year. So it's a pretty good sample size here. So got to give him credit. And then just pulling up just with the handy dandy calculator, as you guys can see, it's on a white screen here today. Calculator. So his yearly, he's at 54% here in the NFL, folks. 54%.
I'll take that.
Not pretty good. Not quite the 57% Benny Buckets is on college, but hey, pretty good though. But he's beating me in the NFL here. So if you just listen to Game Day Greg on the NFL and you listen to me in college, you'd be pretty profitable thus far. You'd be around 56% for the year if you just listen to our picks on those two. So that's where we're at with that. For me, last week, 5-9-1, not a very good showing. 4 games under 500. I started the week 500. I was at 29-29-1. After the showing last week, 34-38-1, so not particularly great. Week 8 on my best bets, I was 2-1. Overall, my best bets 7-11. Open 24 hours a day, of course, 7-11. Player prop 1-2. And overall in the player props, 9-9. So we're gonna get started here for you today. We are gonna get started. We're using a little bit of, just to kind of, before we get started, getting a disclaimer. Please gamble responsibly. Only bet money that you can afford to lose. And as always, past performance is not indicative of future results. Hopefully that's the case for me in the NFL. Hopefully past performance is indicative for Greg, but we will see here. But we are, as a reminder, shop around your sports books, and that's what we'd like to do here as well. We don't like to just concentrate on one book. So this week we are going to be using the BetMGM. The BetMGM is the king of all sports books. A white screen up there. We see a logo there. Yep, there's a logo right there. So the BetMGM app there, the king of all, the self-proclaimed king of all sports books, Jamie Foxx, the Carson Beamer, of any given Sunday.
Yes.
A little with the confusion there, with some.
Oh, we got some ringing.
With the noise. We're gonna let it go. Wait, listen, we're recording. This is number one priority right now. So
this is live. Yes.
This is live and in living color here, folks. So we're gonna start. We're gonna use the BetMGM app, and to start us off, we're gonna have the Odell Beckham-less Cleveland Browns catching 2.5 points at the Cincinnati Bengals -2.5. Total in this game is 47. And the money line is Browns +115, Cincinnati -135 game day, if you want to get us started.
Yeah, my Bengals, what a disappointing showing last week against the Jets, the Jets, Jets. They actually won outright. Mike White, Hall of Fame quarterback so far this year, minus the injury on Thursday night. But anyways, this line's a little too close for me. I was leaning towards the Bengals minus the 2.5, but I'm going to take the over the 47 here. I think Baker's got a little bit to prove. If he is playing, is he playing this week?
He is. He will be playing. Yes, he will be.
He will be playing. So yeah, I think he's got a little bit to prove. I think he's a little upset that Odell Beckham is now no longer a Cleveland native. So yeah, I like the over the 47 in here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go a little bit different. I think that I think this is addition by subtraction. If you look at Baker Mayfield's stats over the last 2.5 years when Beckham has been there, he actually has better statistics, and the team has a better win-loss record without him than with him. So I am not a fan of Odell. Highly overrated. Made a fantastic catch, one of the best ones overseas. That one-handed catch over what's Carr. The name is escaping me. 39 on the Cowboys. He used to play on the Chiefs. Anyway, he was a highly paid free agent. I forget the first name, but and not that it matters. I don't think he's in. Well, it doesn't matter, but he's not in the league anymore.
Folks, let us know which Carr.
Which Carr? It wasn't Derek or David. I got a little confusion with the Derek or the David. I know it wasn't one of them. So
yes, those are both quarterbacks.
Yes, they are. They're quarterbacks, not cornerbacks. Although it sounds similar.
Right.
But I actually expect Cleveland to win this game outright. I am not going to use this as my upset special. We'll get to that later. But I like Cleveland a lot. I like them catching points. I think Cincinnati, after losing to the Jets, I think that's a really demoralizing loss. So I'm going to take, I think, Baker with a little chip on his shoulder. Typically, Cleveland does play very well against Cincinnati. Cincinnati does not fare, although Cincinnati is much improved this year. But they typically do not fare well against Cleveland. So give me Cleveland plus the 2.5 points on this one.
Cleveland plus 2.5. Okay.
All right. So next up here for us, we've got, and you said over 47 for you, right?
Correct.
Over 47. Fair enough. Okay. So next up we have, moving right along, the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos in to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Denver is catching 10 points. Dallas is -10. Total in this game, 49.5, both to the over and the under. And the money line is Denver plus 375, Dallas -500.
Yeah, this is a lot of points, but I'm going to ride with the Cowboys. They've done me well so far this year. And you guys know how much I do not like the Broncos, led by Teddy Bridgewater. Dak's healthy. He's going to play. Who knows about his weapons? Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb, they're both questionable at the moment.
Michael Gallup, I believe, will be back, however. He'll be back.
Michael Gallup will be back. That will be the difference. I believe this opened up at 9.5. It's now 10. It's because of Michael Gallup. So, yeah, I like the Cowboys to absolutely destroy the Broncos here. I don't see the Broncos putting up 20 points, and I could see the Cowboys putting up 35 easily. So give me the Cowboys -10.
Okay, very good. Yeah, I agree here. I totally agree. I'm gonna go Dallas minus the 10 as well. I was a little tempted to pick the under on the total, because Denver just doesn't typically score a lot of points. But I don't think the Denver offense with the Teddy Bridgewater will be able to sustain much or um, lead any kind of a charge to keep up scoring with Dallas. Denver's defense, certainly they started off well, but the last 3-4 weeks has been pretty abysmal. So I like Dallas as well. Also, I think another factor here is you got to remember, folks, not that it would have a huge impact on the line, but Von Miller, no longer with the Broncos, was traded for a second and third round pick in 2022 to the franchise that is allergic with Aaron Rodgers allergic to the vaccine. Same way the Rams are allergic to draft picks, so they have traded their first round pick, second round pick, and third round pick in 2022, in addition to their first round pick in 2024, 2023, and first round pick in 2025. Basically, folks, if you are a fan of Los Angeles Rams, you will not see them pick in the first round probably until global warming has enveloped the world and the world no longer exists. It's not going to happen, folks.
Yeah, I'm just
So,
convinced Sean McVay saying he has these draft picks, but doesn't end up having them. Like he's just saying, "Oh, we'll trade you our second and third," and
yes.
he doesn't have them come draft time. So it's a little too
Yeah,
late.
yeah.
Because they get Von
I
Miller.
think he writes on a napkin, doesn't know IOU or something. But
Yeah,
Les Snead, it's the Les Snead way of doing business. Let's get all these aging superstars, or some aging superstars, pay them a ton of money, and let's not have any draft picks. And the Rams seemingly every year go out in the second round, except for the year they made the Super Bowl. And it hasn't worked so far. Maybe it will. Maybe it will. I did put a little sprinkle on the Rams this year.
Sprinkle. Okay.
Sprinkle on the Rams plus 1,400 before the season started. So I hope I'm wrong. And they were also my Super Bowl pick, as you may remember. The LA Rams at home at SoFi beating the Buffalo Bills in Super Bowl 57, 58, 59, one of those. Anyway, yeah, one of those. Anyway, so give me not to get off topic, but I do think Von Miller, longest tenure Bronco, him not being there is going to be not easy for them. And it shows that the Broncos pretty much do not believe they're a playoff team. You wouldn't trade a top flight pass rusher like Von Miller if you thought you were competing. So seriously for a playoff spot. So give me Dallas, even though they're 4-4. Give me Dallas minus the 10, please. Dallas minus the 10.
Noted.
Next up here, and I'm going to take this one because I have a little counterintuitive pick here to what most people might think what the public may think here. So
sure.
Houston Texans plus 5.5 at the Miami Dolphins, a Miami Dolphins team which I watched in person last week from the fine confines of Highmark Stadium, formerly known as New Era Field, formerly known as Ralph Wilson Stadium, formerly known as Rich Stadium, originally known as the Rock Pile. So we have a bunch of names here for the Bills Stadium. It's somewhat like Phoenix Suns with the Footprint Center and then Talking Stick Resort Arena and PHX Arena, but we won't get into all that. That's a geography.
Yeah, we won't get into it after
we won't. We already said it, but we won't get into it.
Right.
But in any event, the Houston Texans playing Miami. I think I give the total 46.5 minus 110 to both sides. Houston plus 190 on the money line. Miami minus 225. I like Houston here, folks. I'm going to go a little counter. Tua Tagovailoa is questionable with a finger and his rib injury. Although if you watched him play last week, not that he was bad. He didn't have a whole lot of time to throw. But Devontae Parker's on IR now. His best receiver is going to be out. Best receiver now is probably Gesicki, the tight end Mike Gesicki. On the MCAL fantasy team for me there, folks, the great Gesicki. But I just, Tyrod Taylor's back, folks. And if you look at the game and a half that the Texans played with Tyrod Taylor in, they won the first game against Jacksonville and they were ahead against Cleveland in the second game. So when Tyrod Taylor went out with a hamstring injury, he took about 6 weeks to recover, which seems a little long, but that's okay. I like Houston here. I expect Houston to come out in a big way. I think Miami is pretty much done for the season. I think they've given up on the year, and they have some key pieces out. So give me Houston plus the 5.5, and what will surely be a must-watch game for eternity. This game will be playing on NFL Network, folks, for the next 20 years because it's must-see TV. Two of the more legendary franchises in the NFL in 2021. But give me Houston plus the 5.5.
Yeah, I like that pick. It's sneaky. I like it. Tyrod Taylor being back. I'm not going to go that route though. I'm going to go the under the 46.5 here. And I think it's pretty self-explanatory as to why. I mean, these teams combined put up a total of 31 points per game. Granted, they almost give up 60, but neither offense is very good at all. This is a ain't nobody cares game. I mean, who's watching this? I'm pretty sure Red Zone won't even flip to this, even if a team is in the red zone, because it's going to be a turnover. So yeah, I love the under the 46.5 here. There's neither team is getting to 20. So
okay, so
pretty simple as that.
So you got Houston plus 5.5. You've got the under the 46.5. I like that as well. It's a intriguing pick. Okay. Next up here, we've got the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons going in to take on the New Orleans Saints. It was announced today that Trevor Siemian will get the start, not Taysom Hill, who's back from injury, but Trevor Siemian, who led the Saints to a upset victory last week after Jameis Winston went out. When he went out with that knee injury, it looked like the Saints' chances were pretty much over. But Siemian led the comeback, and they came back and won the game. They were up, and then they at the end were down, and they came back and pulled ahead at the very end, and then picked off Brady on the last position when they were up by 3, keeping them out of field goal range. So Atlanta plus 6.5 in the Dome, in the Caesars, the great Caesars Sportsbook Superdome, of course.
Right down the road from me. Right
down the road. Only about an hour and a half, right? Hour and a half.
Yep.
Hour and a half as the crow flies. So
one road, completely straight. It's the easiest drive in the world.
There you go. Very nice. Makes it easy if you want to go to a Saints game, I suppose. But right. Atlanta plus 6.5 at New Orleans. New Orleans minus 6.5 at home, both minus 110. Total in this game is 42, minus 110 to both sides. The money line for Atlanta plus 225. New Orleans minus 275 on the money line.
Yeah, this game is going to be interesting. I really like the over. I'm going to go with the over the 42 for a couple of reasons. One being, I thought Trevor Siemian was pretty impressive with the way he threw the ball last week. With Jameis Winston stepping out, he has a nice ball. He has a wonderful deep ball. The Falcons love to throw the ball, and the Saints are terrible at defending the pass. They give up almost 300 yards a game. And that Falcons offense minus Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley will be out 3 weeks, but I still think the over hits here. I think there'll be points galore in Caesars Stadium there. So yeah, give me the over the 42.
Yeah, I'm gonna go a little bit different here. I like that pick. That would be, if I didn't go with the side here, that would be the way I would go as well. That's how I play this. But I like Atlanta here a lot. Plus a 6.5. They have played very well last week, notwithstanding to Carolina. They have played much better lately. They played pretty well against the Jets. They played very well against Miami to win that game on the road. And I just think this is too many points. Too many points with the backup quarterback who is didn't play poorly last week, played fairly well. But I just think in a game like this, a lot of times you got to, in a lot of situations, you got to take the better quarterback. And when the better quarterback is getting almost a touchdown, as is Matt Ryan, probably a borderline future Hall of Famer against the guy who was the backup quarterback for the Jets a year ago. And
the Broncos before that, right?
Broncos, yeah, well, he was a starting quarterback for the Broncos before that. Yes. I think you got to go. I think you got to take the points here with a better quarterback. So I do like Atlanta here. Give me Atlanta plus the 6.5.
Okay.
All right. Putting that down. Next up here, we have a interesting game. Another of the traditional West Coast, East Coast games here. Well, West Coast team flying to the East Coast, so that's always difficult for those West Coast teams to play a 1:00 game and on the East Coast. The Las Vegas Raiders. It's been a very trying year, to say the least, for the Las Vegas Raiders. John Gruden obviously was summarily resigned or dismissed, but it was not on his own volition, we shall say. And then of course this week, one of their better receivers, probably their second best receiver, maybe their best receiver.
He was their leading receiver, yeah.
Leading receiver, Henry Ruggs III, got himself into a little bit of a pickle, a little drunk driving scenario, it appears, and an excessive speed was really probably as much of a factor if anything else. 156 miles an hour, according to Las Vegas Metro PD, and he rear-ended a SUV, tragically killing the driver inside around 3:30 a.m. Pacific time. So he's banged up very quickly after that news emerged about 16 hours after the crash happened, and about 12 hours after, or about 10 hours after it was reported by Adam Schefter and ESPN, the Raiders released Henry Ruggs. So he's no longer with the team. Of course, there's some bigger issues there that are much more important than that. Mainly the loss of life, which is certainly more of a certainly the most tragic aspect of the whole thing. So probable, I should say, criminal charges pending against Ruggs as well. So not a good situation at all. But with that being said, I just wanted to give an overview of maybe some of the mindset or what might be going on in this game. Although, of course, that pales into the game pales into comparison of what the events that happened here the other night. But Vegas is -3, -115. The Giants are +3, -105. Vegas is over 46.5, -115. The total over 46.5, -115. Under 46.5, -105. And then we've got the Raiders -175, and on the money line, Giants +145.
Yeah, the Raiders, I mean, I don't remember a team that's had this much controversy, especially for the first 9 weeks of the year, with all that happening. But I still like the Raiders -3 here against the Giants. Let's just look at the facts. The Raiders are 5-2. Giants are 2-6. Derek Carr is a way better quarterback than Daniel Jones. Yes, they are going out west. I understand that.
I mean, out east,
and I know
out east with the
out east. Yes, out east.
with the geography.
Yeah, I know.
The geography.
Yes, with the geography. We didn't get a Benny Buckets geography lesson last week, so I was a little rusty on the on the geography. But no, I like the Raiders -3 here, just because they're simply the better team. They have the better offense. They have the better defense, and yeah, I'll take Raiders -3.
Yeah, I wrestled with this one. I certainly could go that route. Yeah, I'm gonna stick to my game plan. I'm gonna go under. I'm gonna go under the 46.5. I do think the Raiders will win, but I think the Raiders, both these defenses are at least decent. The Giants offense is not very good. The Raiders offense is very hit and miss, I find. And I think that it's going to be, I don't think they're going to put up a ton of points in this spot on the road. Cold weather game. It's going to be, I think, pretty cold in New York. I don't know if it'll be inclement necessarily, but I do believe it'll be a lot colder than the types of 80+ degree weather that we've been experiencing here in the desert Southwest and they have in Las Vegas. So I just don't see a lot of points in this game. I think that's more likely than a Raiders cover. So I'm going to go with the under 46.5. But I do if I had to pick a side, I would go with the Raiders as well. Plus, it's just been a very tough week. Very, very emotionally trying first 2 months of the year for Vegas. So next up, on a lighter note, and a game that does not have such life and death dire consequences surrounding it, the New England Patriots are in to take on Carolina now. As an observation here. Sam Darnold, the quarterback, is questionable with a concussion. I believe a shoulder injury or another injury as well. So he is questionable. He did leave the game last week against Atlanta. So take that into account here. This line could move based on his playing status. If he cannot go, Philip Walker, the fifth. That's right, the fifth. Five, or maybe it's 4. I think it's the IV. So maybe it's the
XFL great.
The XFL great. Yes, the XFL great. Philip Walker, who got a contract based off his 3 weeks of the XFL before it got canceled before the pandemic there. But Philip Walker, the 4th or 5th, sorry if we got that wrong, Mr. Walker, just not sure which one it is. But Philip Walker, many in a long lineage of Philip Walkers, will take over and helm the Panthers if Darnold cannot go. So Patriots he also, by the way, took over the week before against the Giants when the Giants beat the Panthers because Darnold was benched. So also a little sidebar on that. But first one up here, we got the Patriots -3.5, -110, Panthers +3.5, -110 in Carolina. Total of this game is 41, both -110 to the over and the under. And then the Patriots are -185, Carolina +155. Go take it, Greg.
Yeah, I love the Patriots here in this spot. That's so weird saying being a Buffalo Bills fan, but give me the Patriots -3.5 here. They've been playing pretty well. Mac Jones is probably the second best quarterback in the AFC East. It scare honestly.
Not saying much. Not saying much because of the other two.
Not saying much. Not saying much. Close third is Mike White, in the AFC East. But anyways, honestly, Philip Walker, the fourth or fifth, scares me more than Sam Darnold.
I agree with that
situation.
I agree with that.
Sam Darnold is absolutely awful. I mean, he had a
Well, he had a good first couple weeks there. He had a good first couple.
Yeah,
weeks.
but I mean, seeing ghosts. Let's put it that way. Seeing ghosts.
Well, he's playing New England again, so he might see ghosts again because that's what we saw ghosts against the first time.
Especially if they're wearing white. Yes, that would be yes with the ghosts. But anyways, no, I like the Patriots at -3.5 here. Better coach team, better overall team, better offense, better defense. Give me the Patriots -3.5. I think it should be honestly 5 or 6. So I'll take the 3.5 all day.
Yeah, I agree. I think this should be 6.5. I am probably going to tease this one up. I feel so confident in this one. To probably 6.5 and try to get some plus odds on this. I like New England a lot as well. Give me New England -3.5 for all the reasons below, or all the reasons previously Greg said. I think it's the Patriots. Listen, I think obviously it's a very well coached team. I think Mac Jones is so far at least shown to be at least halfway into the first year the best of the rookie class quarterbacks by far, not really even close. Certainly better than much, better stats and obviously more success than Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields or Zach Wilson for that matter. Even though I'm a Zach Wilson fan, I do have to admit with the Mac.
Yes.
Rack the Mac. By the way, if you guys, we did on the college show, Fade the Fleck. Now we got Rack.
Yes.
So if you do make T-shirts or you do sell merchandise, I want my royalties on that, please. But Rack the Mac. But I do like Mac. Give me Rack the Mac and the Patriots -3.5. Next up, it's a Buffalo special here, folks. We'll let Game Day go first. The native, and he's behind you there with the background there. Although some of those players, notably John Brown, is no longer on the team, but
yes.
little dated with the
throwback.
Little throwback. Jaquan Johnson as well, no longer. I don't believe no longer with the team, or maybe practice squad. Haven't seen Jaquan. Haven't seen him play this year yet, so I'm not sure with that. But anyway, let's get right to it here. Buffalo -14.5 taking on the Jaguars of the Duval, whatever they say. Duval with a bunch of U's there for the Jaguars. Yes. Plus the 14.5 for the Duval team, Duval County, -110 on both sides. Buffalo 48.5 -1. The Buffalo over 48.5. Under 48.5, the total in the game, -110 on both sides. And then we have the Bills -1100. So you gotta lay the wood here, folks, if you want to take the money line. Lay some pretty big odds on the Bills on the money line. Jaguars +700 on the money line. So you want to take this here, great Game Day?
You guys know my pick. I'm just going to tell you why. Bills -14.5 here. Josh Allen. I mean, I don't have to tell you guys, honestly. I mean, he's an MVP candidate. The Buffalo Bills are absolutely rolling. Their defense is just as good as their offense, if not better, which is saying a lot. The Jacksonville Jaguars, I mean, Urban Meyer is going to have to probably go to the bar by halftime here. I think.
Will he find a lady friend there, though? Will he find a lady friend at the bar?
That is yet to be determined. The over under on that's 1.5 lady friends by the end of the game. But this is just going to be a laugher, folks. I'm going to be tuned in because I'm always tuned in every Buffalo Bills game. But yeah, Bills -.
There was one to miss though. This would probably be the one. If you're going to miss one, this is probably the one that it's not
true. Buffalo Bills fans don't miss any games. Don't miss true. Even when it was tough. Even when we were with the Trent Edwards. I mean, JP Lossman era. I mean, we just don't miss any games. So get your free money. Get Bills -14.5. We did squeak it out last week with the spread, winning by 1 there. But give me the Bills -14.5 here.
Yeah, you did squeak it out last week, and you'll take the same result this week, a 15-point win. Because
Absolutely.
that'll
Win's a
give
win.
you, they'll give you a winner. They'll give you a winner by a half point. But oh man, this is tough for me. This is a lot of points.
Against the Jaguars?
Listen, I mean,
Oy.
I don't know. I see this as a trap game. I really do. I see this as a trap game. Granted, the next game is against the Jets, so it's not like there's a lot to,
Look forward to.
look
Yes,
forward to there
yes.
with that. But oh man, I think I'm gonna play it, I think, a little bit differently. I think the Bills will put up a lot of points, but I think the Jaguars are gonna put up some points here. I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna go over the 48.5.
Wow.
The 48.5. It's tempted to take the Bills, but I don't know. I mean, I there's something here, just a little gut feeling. Something tells me it's going to be
okay.
It's going to be closer than you think.
Go with your gut. Go with your gut.
I think the Bills will win the game, but I don't necessarily know if they're going to win by 17 or 3 touchdowns. So give me the over 48.5. I think both teams will. The Jaguars defense is awful. Bills defense has been mediocre, although it was really a bad Miami offense more than a good Bills defense last week. Let's be honest about it.
Number 1 defense in the league, mind you.
But still, no.
Yes.
No, they're not.
Number 1 scoring defense.
The Rams are the number 1 defense in the league. Let's be honest. Little with the bias. There.
The Bills are statistically the number 1 defense when it comes to scoring defense. Number 1 scoring offense, number 1 scoring defense.
Well, when you play Miami twice and then you play the Jets twice, and
they haven't played the Jets twice yet.
Well, I know, but then when you do, that kind of helps. It kind of helps. Just saying.
You play who's on your schedule.
I understand.
There's nothing you can do about it.
I understand that, but you're not convincing me. I'm still going with the over 48.5. We'll go with that.
Okay.
Better weather this week, less wind. I think we'll get the offense in order a little bit. But I don't think the Bills will score 3 points again in the first half, so we'll go with the over. All right, next up, this is a very interesting game. Quite an interesting game, as a matter of fact. Minnesota Vikings at the Baltimore Ravens, another 1:00 game. Minnesota +6, Baltimore -6. Total in this game 49.5. Both to the over and the under, -110 on both sides. Minnesota +210, and then Baltimore -250.
Yeah, this game, I've been thinking about this game a lot. I honestly still don't know which way I'm leaning. I could choose between 3 different plays here out of the 4 possible. But I'm going to go with the Ravens -6 here at home. I just like them simply because they are at home. The other one that I was really mulling over is the over the 50. I think there is going to be
49.5. 49.5.
49. Oh,
moved.
Oh,
You get the hook now.
I don't know.
You get the hook on the 50.
I do get the hook now, but something about these 1:00 games and these teams that are supposed to score a lot and they just don't. I could see this being 21-17.5. I could see this being 10-7.5. I don't know. I'm just going to stick with the Ravens -6. I have no idea why. I'm going to hear Ben's prediction and his reasoning, and then I'm going to come up with a pick after that. We'll
hold your pick off then. We'll hold off on your pick.
Yeah.
We won't write it. We won't put it in the ink. We won't put it in the ink.
Put it in pencil, not in pen.
Yes. All right. Yeah. Well, I don't have a pencil with me. We write pen here. We're
Folks
adults.
at home.
We're adults here. We're not 6 years old and in arts and crafts class. Okay. Jeez. Pencil.
Well, if you make a mistake,
I ain't taking no Scantron tests here. Okay, with pencil. Jeez. Game day remembers those days. So
yes,
they were quite a few years ago for him. The old Scantron tests, but
a little bit more years away from you than me.
Yes, it was. Although I look younger.
Yes, for whatever that's worth. Yes.
No beard. So.
No beard. Off track. With the off track.
Yeah, with the tangent. I agree with you. Actually, I'm gonna go. I'm tempted to take the over, but I just don't trust Minnesota. I mean, that was a really bad loss last week. Although Cooper Rush did play well, bad loss to the Cowboys. I like Baltimore quite a bit here, especially coming off that they were on a bye last week. They got absolutely smoked by Cincinnati. I know Harbaugh off a bye is very good, and I think they got a chip on their shoulder after getting absolutely waxed by Cincinnati at home. something to prove. So the combination of that, Minnesota is not nearly as good on the road as they are at home, even though they just lost to the Cowboys at home to a backup who's never played before. So for all those reasons, I am going to go with Baltimore -6. I think that's the better bet than the total. So give me Baltimore -6.
And I'm going to stick with my Ravens -6 as well.
Baltimore -6. Okay. Okay, so he sticks with it. I think if I went another way, I could have convinced Game Day to go that way. I am going to take this one first because I already have a bet in on this one. Feel very confident about it. It is a 4 o'clock game, and that does make a difference here, folks. It's a West Coast team traveling East Coast, but it's a 4 o'clock game, not a 1 o'clock game. So it's a 1 p.m. start for the West Coast team, which makes a big difference for the biological clock here, folks, for the circadian rhythm for you biology majors who would get a kick out of something like that. So the Chargers -1.5 at Philly, at the Philadelphia Eagles +1.5, -110 on both sides of the spread here. Total is 50. Both -110 to the over and the under. Chargers are -125 on the money line. Philly is +105 on the money line. I'm going to get started here. I love the Chargers here, folks. I mean, 2 bad losses in a row. Two bad losses in a row. They lost to Baltimore 3 weeks ago. Then they had their bye. They came off their bye. They played New England. They lost to New England. So 2, and really they can ill afford. I mean, I know that Kansas City's not off to a great start, but they can't keep losing games and giving ground to Kansas City. And right now the Raiders are first place in the division here. So I just think this is a must win. I think the Chargers are a much better team. I understand the game's on the road, but like I said, I really truly believe it being a 1 o'clock game, a 4 o'clock game rather than a 1 o'clock game makes a big difference for the West Coast team, from just being able to kind of function better and be more ready for it because they're used to the 1 o'clock games, not the 1 o'clock Pacific time games or the 4 o'clock games. And the 1 o'clock games, obviously, they don't play at 10 a.m. at home. So
4 o'clock and 1 o'clock games. I think you may have said that 10 times each there.
Yes. Well, with the emphasis on the 4 o'clock versus the 1 o'clock. Yes.
Yeah.
But I love the Chargers here. Bet. You're not laying much. You get the better quarterback. Again, better quarterback didn't play very well last week against New England. But you get the better quarterback. You get the better team. You get the better coach. Give me all those things. Give me the Chargers -1.5.
Yeah, I like that pick. I was between that and the over, the 50, and I'm actually going to go a little bit different. I'm going to go over 50 points in this game. Both teams are averaging about 25 points per game, and that's how much they're giving up as well. So that's 50 right on the dot. These offenses are pretty good. They've been coming into form these past couple of weeks. The past 3 weeks, the Eagles have scored 44, 22, and 22. Even if the Eagles score 22, I see the Chargers throwing up 30. I think the Chargers are pissed off. I think they want to come back and really make this a statement game to get back towards that second or third second or third seed in the AFC. I think Justin Herbert is an MVP candidate. He's a fantastic quarterback. I wish I got into his sports cards a little bit earlier, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, I like the over here. I don't think either defense is really going to be able to keep up with the opposing offense, and this is just going to be a shootout. And it could come down to who has the ball last. So yeah, give me over 50 here.
Okay, over 50, noted. This is the old Fox game of the week, and this is a better game until we had a COVID issue. Aaron Rodgers tested positive, as everyone knows, the world knows. It's on the nightly news. You can't miss it. I mean, if you try to miss it, then you've probably been in solitary confinement for the last week or something. I don't know. You just haven't left your home or just haven't turned on TV or your phone.
Right.
You've been purposely hibernating if you missed the news. But this game opened up as a pick'em game with Rodgers in. Now without Rodgers, it's going to Jordan Love. The Packers are catching 7, -110. Kansas City -7, -110. Total in this game is 48. This total opened up at 52.5 with Rodgers in. Now it's down to 48 and -110 on both sides. And then the Packers are +250. Kansas City -300. So that's where we start out here. Go ahead, Game Day, if you want to take this one again, since I took the last one.
Yeah, I was zoning out a little bit, focusing on other sports for a second there. What was the line that you had on this game?
The line is +7. It was 7.5. It was actually up to 9.5 about 2 days ago when the news was announced. It's been all the way bet down to 7. So it's +7. 7 points is the spread here in this game.
Yeah, give me the Chiefs minus a 7 here at home. It's an afternoon game. Is this a
This is
Jim
the game of the
Nance,
week.
Tony
This is a
Romo?
Joe. This is a Joe. No, this is not a Jim Nance. This is a Joe Buck,
No,
Troy
this is a Joe
Aikman,
Buck.
Troy
Okay.
Aikman, Aaron Andrews, Tom Rinaldi special. That's what this is. So
Okay, because I
don't
know
forget about Tom
for some-
Rinaldi, the new
For
addition.
some
to Fox.
reason, Tony Romo and Jim Nance were doing the Fox games, doing some NFC games. So yeah, well, it was just a little question there. But yeah, no, I like the Chiefs minus a 7 here. I mean, they have to get rolling, right? No Aaron Rodgers. That's a huge part of the Packers offense. Obviously, no explanation needed there. Jordan Love making his first start at Arrowhead. It'll be certainly with the interesting if we'll be able to get the plays out with how loud that crowd really is. If the Chiefs can't beat them by 7 here, I'm not betting on the Chiefs the rest of the year. I mean, it's frustrating betting the Chiefs at this point. I believe Patrick Mahomes is the league leader in interceptions.
He is. He is. That is an accurate statement. He is not an MVP caliber year like it was 2 years ago for Patty Mahomes through the first.
Right. But I think this could be his bounce back game, the game he needed. And then I'll kind of tease that a little bit going into the player props. So I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, give me the Chiefs minus 7 here.
Yeah, I am going to go opposite here from you, bud. We're going head to head here. I think with the first sense. Give me the Green Bay Packers. I mean, I liked it more at 9.5, but give me the Green Bay Packers plus the 7. Couple reasons for that. My reasoning, my rationale here. So I think Jordan Love has got something to prove. I think the Packers are just a better team. But my real reasoning, my real rationale here is that the Kansas City Chiefs, since week 9 of last year, have only covered against the spread, I believe, 3 times in about 16 games or 18 games. Not very good. They're the worst team in the NFL since week 9 of last week against the spread in the last calendar year's worth of games. So I just don't trust the Chiefs to come. I don't know what's happened. I don't know if it's bad karma or there's some hangover effects. Well, I shouldn't say that. That's bad pun. But there's some after effects of the Brett Reed situation. I really don't know. It just does not seem like the same Kansas City Chiefs team as last year or in 2019. I'm like you said, Mahomes is kind of reverting back to some of his play in college with the turnovers. Not sure. It's a little strange. Seemingly they were improved this year, especially along the offensive line. One would think they were going to be better. Their total was very high. I believe it was 13. Or 12.5, so they're projected to go 13-4 to hit the over. So, and one more loss and they're already out on that, and from that standpoint. So I don't know. Right. I like Green Bay. I just think Green Bay, you get Devontae Adams back this week. No COVID issue with him. Aaron Jones, I expect them to rely on the running game, and they do have one of the better combinations between Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon in the backfield. Not Austin Dillon. A little confusion with the NASCAR out here this weekend.
NASCAR and yes.
Final race, the final championship races here. It's in Phoenix, as a matter of fact. Actually, I don't think anybody in the race will be driving Cadillacs actually, but
yes.
But anyway, give me the Packers plus a 7. So I'll go
Packers plus a 7. All right, I like when we go against each other. That helps with the overall standings.
Yes, it creates some sort of gulf. So next game, I'll go first here because it is the hometown game here. We got the Arizona Cardinals plus 2.5 at the San Francisco 49ers, or the Santa Clara 49ers, as it were, minus 2.5. The total is 45.5, both minus 110 to the over and the under. And the Cardinals are plus 110 on the money line. San Francisco is minus 130. More than likely, no AJ Green this week. He was in the COVID protocol. Not sure if he got it from Aaron Rodgers, but he's in the COVID protocol. He could play because he's vaccinated. If he tests twice within a 24-hour time span, is asymptomatic, but more than likely probably out. DeAndre Hopkins, I would say shading towards out this week. So no, probably top 2 receivers for the Cardinals out more than likely, although it's still
possibly no quarterback.
And Kyler Murray is a game time decision. He will make a decision at the game time on Sunday afternoon. So for all those reasons, this is a very difficult game to pick, especially if you don't know the status of Murray. So I'm going to avoid the sides here just because I would think he probably won't play, folks. Just to guess, he didn't practice Wednesday. He didn't practice yesterday. He didn't practice today. So I would think more than likely probably a no-go. You'll see Colt McCoy behind center, the former Texas standout and national champion. But I like the under in this game because of no Murray. Pretty good defenses on both sides. Surprisingly, the Cardinals probably one of the more surprising emerging defenses this year. Gave up only 20 some odd to Aaron Rodgers 23, I think it was, or 24 last week to Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
The high powered
or 24.
24. Yeah, high powered Packers offense in perfect conditions in the desert with the whole as Chris Bird for me is going to call it, the giant toaster in the desert because it's silver and it looks like a toaster and you have a slot in the middle. But anyway, give me the under on the 45.5.
Yeah, I agree with you for all the reasons you just mentioned. If Kyler Murray's not playing, I think under 45.5 is definitely the play here. If Kyler Murray is playing, that scares me quite a bit. That's just how much Kyler Murray means.
He'll probably be limited in mobility though if he plays, I would imagine.
Right. So yeah, give me the under the 45.5 here for all the reasons you mentioned. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, and then we have the Sunday night special, of course. This is a week that the great Al Michaels will not be taking off. He took one off in Pittsburgh, but he lives in LA, so he'll be calling the LA games. It's the Tennessee Titans. No Derrick Henry, folks. He's on IR. He may miss the rest of the year with a foot injury. He's getting foot surgery, so we'll see how that plays out or transpires. But I would expect that to be a bit of an issue for the Titans moving forward. They did sign Adrian Peterson, so they brought him back, but we'll see how that goes with that. So Titans are 7.5-point underdogs at the Rams. The Rams are 7.5-point favorites. Both are -110. Total in this game 52.5 to the over and under, and then the Titans are +290 on the money line. LA Rams -350 at SoFi. If you want to go ahead and take this one.
Yeah, I really like the Rams on this one, -7.5. This is you're basically asking the Titans to throw the ball more. Yes, Adrian Peterson may play in this game, but I don't see him getting more than 15 carries in this one. I think that'd be pretty reckless, but I mean, who knows what they're actually concerned about his health, if it's just a rental. But yeah, no, if you're giving me a shootout quarterback wise between Matt Stafford and Ryan Tannehill, I'm going to take Matt Stafford all day. They've got better weapons. Titans do have good weapons, but the Rams just have better weapons again. And that could be a little bit of foreshadowing into some of the player props segment here. But yeah, give me the Rams -7.5 at home Sunday night. Chris Collinsworth, the slide, folks.
The slide over. Yes, the slide.
Slide over. That will be in full effect.
This is the last
So
year.
make sure you watch out
You
for
better
that.
savor it. This is the last year of the slide. So
yes.
He will be with the retired, or he will be with the contract expired, and the Drew Brees will be with the slide next year if he does the slide. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't see anyone taking over the slide, but yeah, give me the Rams -7.5. That's a play. That's
the patented slide. Yes. Yeah, I agree with game day here. A little interesting on the total. I think the total is a little bit high at 52.5, frankly. The Titans have been playing games to the under until last week against Indy, but the Chiefs game went to the under. The Bills game went to the over. So maybe not so much. I don't know what I'm talking about here. They were 2-1 in the over in the last 3 weeks, so maybe I'm wrong.
4-5 in the past. 4-1 in the past 5 games on the over.
On the over, okay. Well, I still don't like the over very much, but I'm going to go with the Rams as well. I did see this yesterday at 7. Don't love laying the hook here, but always better to be on 7 than 7.5 or 6.5 and 7. Yep. We cannot buy hooks here, folks. We got to go with the lines as they are, and this is the content.
Right.
We got to do it for the viewers because not everywhere can you buy the hook. So. We got.
At least we can inform you to buy the hook.
Right.
You can't pick the hook,
I would buy the hook here, I would buy the hook here.
Again, I'm just going to plug this real quick. This is where shopping around in sports books is very important, right? Do you really want to buy the hook? Go to -130 on -7. If you could find a -7 for -110. A lot of minuses there with the minuses, but it's all worth it in the end. In the long run, it may not seem like it week to week, but it is over the course of the year. But sorry, Benny. Anyway,
Yes, no, thank you. Thank you with that. That was good information there. Absolutely. So give me the Rams minus 7.5. And the final game of the week, the Sunday night, the Monday night game. This is two historic franchises, but to me, a pretty boring game here, folks. I'm not too fired up for this one. Probably won't watch much of this one. I might watch the 0-11 Coyotes over these guys. Okay, not very good with the football here with the Monday night game. Not a very good one.
Too bad there's no college football
Louis Riddick and Brian Greasy. They're gonna have to do a lot to get the public fired up about this one because it just doesn't.
I believe is the Manning cast going to be available this week?
I do not know. I do not know. I do not watch with the Manning cast. I do not engage with that tomfoolery and nonsense. Okay.
Oh, Josh Allen was on last week.
I know that.
Pretty good.
I did know that. Yes, for sure. I'm not sure if it's with the Manning cast. I know they only do 7, and I think they've already done 5. They only do 10, and they've already done at least. I think they've done 5 already. So, but anyway, maybe they should just do the games. Maybe that would be. I mean, they probably don't want to travel the games, but whatever.
So, no, they do it from the comfort of their own homes.
And I'm sure they are. I'm sure they are well compensated for such a task.
Probably more compensated than the actual guys in the booth. But,
are they? Okay, maybe on a per game basis. Maybe I don't think overall they are because they don't do all the games, but maybe on a per game basis. I wonder if they will do the Manning cast for the Monday Night Football playoff game this year, the newly minted Monday Night Football playoff game this year.
I don't know.
That will be with the interest.
I'm looking forward to the Nickelodeon playoff.
Oh yes,
for the MVP.
The slime touchdowns. Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yes. For sure.
With the tangent there, but anyways.
With the tangent, yes, with the tangent on the broadcasting and the announcers. But anyway, Chicago Bears plus 6.5 at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh minus 6.5, both minus 110. Total in this game has come down. It opened up at 41. It's now at 39.5. Over is minus 115. Under is minus 105. Bears plus 225 on the money line. Pittsburgh minus 275 on the money line.
Yeah, this is just a nobody cares game for me as well. I know Ben as well. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take the under the 39.5 here. I could easily. I'm just closing my eyes and picturing a 10-7 half, 10-7 Steelers halftime score, and then maybe a touchdown or 2 after that. But hopefully not 2 because that would. No, that was still good under. Sorry, folks. This is towards the end of the show. We like to get a little wacky towards the end of the show.
Yes, we do.
But
yes,
yeah, give me the Bears. Oh my God, give me the under 39.5 here in the Bears Steelers game.
Under 39.5. Okay, great. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. Bad offenses, pretty good defenses, especially the Steelers defense has really emerged in recent weeks. Just not. This is just a boring game.
Who cares?
For two franchises that are very well have had success or historic or historic franchises, this is about as bad of a matchup you could have for historic franchises because it's just neither offense is good. The quarterbacks are it's way too much. I think it's way too much to be laying with the Steelers in any game is 6.5. Especially against the Bears are not an awful team. They're not great, but they're not one. We're not talking about the Jets here. We're not talking about the Texans. We're not talking about a bottom 2 or 3 team here. They're reputable. We'll just say they may not be good, but they're at least they're competitive in their games for the most part, other than the Tampa game where they got absolutely shellacked. But so I'm tempted to go with the Bears, but I'm going to go under as well. I don't know. It's a boring game. It's just a boring game. It's not a fun game here, folks. It's not a good of all the games here to round out the week. This is probably the worst one one of the worst ones they could have picked. So we'll go under 39.5 for both of us. If you are going to take this one, this might be a good one to take in a teaser where you tease it up 6 points and you take another game, you tease that 6 points, you get minus 120 on that. That's a good, you get good value. So you could, tease Baltimore back to even, and they win outright. Then you win on your bet and you get up to 45.5. You can tease it and you get minus 120 on that bet. That might be with the interesting, but I don't like this game very much. This is probably a decent game to tease though, the total up. But anyway, we don't really talk about teasers here much. but that's teasers are essentially a parlay where you get additional points, but you have to hit all bets within the teaser in order to cash your bet. So it's just like a parlay in that respect, but you get additional points because you're getting additional points. Obviously, you're not getting the same odds. You have to do at least 2 games and you tease them. And the 2 games is typically, depending what book you're at, minus 120, minus 130. You go to 3 games, you go to plus 140, plus 150 typically on that tease parlay. So for a 6 point, you can tease 6, you can tease 6.5, you can tease 7, or you can tease, I believe, tease 7, tease 7.5, tease 8, or tease 10 is what the typical teasers are. But little betting education here. We also like to educate her a little bit as well. So
right,
I do a teaser from time to time. It's with the interesting. So anyway, we're gonna move right along here. We're gonna move over to a couple of our new segments here that we have got. I think the first new segment we're gonna do is what were they thinking? So we're gonna give you one line here, each of us, that we think is just way out of whack, way out of balance, doesn't make any sense. And I guess, Gray, game day, if you want to go first on this one.
Yes,
I'll
thank
go
you.
first on the upset
Thank
specials.
you.
So
I've only got one. What were they thinking? What were they thinking? I am going to go with the Patriots, the minus 3.5 here against the Panthers. It doesn't make much sense to me. I think we alluded to this earlier. It should be minus 6.5, minus 7. I guess the Patriots going on the road, playing a Panthers team. I guess maybe Sam Darnold not being in helps a little bit, potentially. I really don't know, but this is where Vegas and the odds makers have me a little stumped. So what were they thinking?
There you go. We're not gonna duplicate these because we're only giving one. So unlike the best bets we can duplicate, we're gonna give you. So I like that. That was probably mine. So thank you for taking that.
Yeah, I'm happy you said go first game day.
Yeah,
I was very happy.
Yeah, that was fair. I'm gonna go with one of the picks that I like a lot. I don't feel nearly as strongly about this one as I do on the New England minus 3.5. But I do believe the Chargers are laying only 1.5. I think this should be more like 4 or 4.5. They're just a much better team. We got a much better quarterback. Miles Sanders, their leading rushers, out, or starting running back, is out. They've got a better running game, better offensive line. Both defenses are just awful, not good. Chargers are the worst. I think one of the worst or second worst rushes defenses in the league. But Philly has their top running back, Miles Sanders, by far their best rusher, out. Jalen Hurts may have a field day running the ball, but from a running back standpoint, I think Boston Scott, maybe Kenneth Gainwell is the next up in line to take the carries for Sanders. But so I think this should be probably about 2 to 3 points higher personally. So I'm going to go with this week. I think the lines have been pretty accurate, but I'm going to go with the Chargers minus 1.5 is what were they thinking? And then probably my favorite special, because I get to do my my little thing here. We got this segment. We're going to give some credit here. We got this segment from JT the Brick, John Tudor. He, of course, he's a Las Vegas legend icon. He's got a sports regular daily sports talk show there, and he's on Sirius XM's Mad Dog Sports Radio. He is a Sunday through Thursday contributor. He is on from 7 p.m. until 11 p.m. Pacific time, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it's 10 p.m. Oh, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Pacific time, Sunday through Thursday. So this is a segment that he does. He calls it his upset special. This is my upset special. So the upset. No, I didn't go catatonic, folks. That was planned. So the upset special, folks, we have to pick a team. This is not for the records. You don't have to pick. You can't obviously pick against a team in our picks and then pick them as the upset special. But you could have picked a total and then picked a team for the upset special. But it's a team that is getting points that we believe is going to win the game. And I was down to 2. Folks. We cannot duplicate these either because we got to get the content. We're only picking one, just for the record. So I was down to 2. I was going to go with Cleveland plus the 2.5, or I was going to go with Atlanta plus 6.5. And something just tells me, off a big win last week against New Orleans, and I want to give you guys more value, because if you go with the upset special, I believe they went outright, you can take them on the money line and get a better price. if they're getting more points. So I'm going to take the Atlanta Falcons, a much better, much improved team. Again, our records on this probably not going to be great because we're taking an underdog to try to win the game outright, and we only win our bet not if they cover, but if they win the game outright for our upset special. So my upset special this week. This is my upset special. The Atlanta Falcons plus the 6.5. Plus the 6.5.
That's never
So
gonna
the Atlanta
That's
Falcons
never
to win
gonna get old.
outright. They're currently getting 6.5.
6.5. All right.
And New Orleans.
We appreciate the enthusiasm with the upset special. I'm not going to go that enthusiastic over here. But yeah, I guess if you want to call this an upset special, I'm going to go with the Houston Texans over the Miami Dolphins.
Wow.
Is my upset special. The
Tyrod
Houston
Texans.
Yes, the Tyrod Taylor-led Houston Texans. That is the main reason why I'm taking this potentially as my upset special. He is a much better quarterback than Davis Mills. Mills Mafia, that lasted all of 48 hours. Yeah, no, if I had to pick one, I mean, the rest of the games just don't make any sense. 2 1-7 teams battling it out on the gridiron to maybe get 30 points total in the game. But yeah,
I believe
give
the
me
Dolphins
Houston.
are 1-6, by the way, because they get a bye week, but that's okay.
Oh, they are 1-7, sir. 1-7.
They are 1-7. They are 1. Okay,
Yes,
sorry. Okay,
yes. They have not had the bye week. But
with
that's
the
okay.
correction.
Yes.
Correction. So okay.
Yes.
All right.
Let me put this up here. No, we can't see the 1-7, the 1-7 and 1-7.
Can't really see.
Battle.
You need a microscope.
Really see
you need with the microscope to see that. So with the microscope.
So yeah, I'll give me the Houston Texans as my upset special.
Okay, so there it is. Upset special Houston Texans. All righty. So I am going to go take a look at this here. Now we're on to the player props, I believe, right? With the player props, we
can do best bets, or we can do player props.
Oh, best bets. I'm sorry, best bets. I'm sorry. Yeah, we'll alternate here. I will go first this week since Greg stole my. What were they thinking? So, player props.
Yes.
We can duplicate these. We can duplicate these because there's 3 of them.
Are we doing player props or are we doing best bets?
I'm sorry, best bets. I'm sorry.
Best bets. I'm going to go first just because
with the confusion. Another in a week where that has been the quintessential hallmark. Another with the confusion. Yes, best bets first. Best bets for me. So let me write down. So we got for the upset special. You have for your upset special, Houston.
The
win outright. Okay. Houston, and I have Atlanta. Let's see how we do on this. I can't believe you didn't with the enthusiasm though. I mean, it was a little
no, I wasn't feeling it. Maybe next week. Maybe folks, if we have more than 2 comments in the 2 or more comments in this video, I will yell the upset special. And I am in an apartment building, I will scream it. So
all right,
that's your goal here, folks. 2
all
comments.
Right, best bets, because I already gave you Atlanta as my upset special, so I don't want to duplicate that. I'm going to start off here. I'll take Greg's upset special. I'll take New England minus a 3.5. My first best bet.
Patriots minus 3.5. Okay, my first bet is going to be the Bills minus 14.5 here. They're going to win by 20.
Shocker.
Yes. No bias.
No bias. Everyone knows the rules. Yep. That's bets. Buffalo minus 14.5. Okay. All right. Next up, I am going to. Ooh, this is a tough week. I will take the Chargers, the LA Chargers minus 1.5.
Chargers minus 1.5. Okay. I'm going to go with your first best bet. I'm going to go Patriots minus 3.5 as my second best bet.
Okay. All right. All right, last one I'm going to do Dallas minus 10. They are so far undefeated against the spread, folks. The only team in the NFL that is they're not perfect record. I believe they're 6-1 or 7-1, but they are undefeated against the spread. So 6-1 or 7-1 game day. You got the records.
I believe 7-1, but I haven't. No, 6-1. 6-1. They had their bye week.
By the way, I gave just sorry, real quick, I'm sorry to interrupt, but
No,
I just
go
want
ahead.
to let the viewers know we gave you yesterday a best bet in the college football. Oh, we didn't do this. Oh, never mind. We didn't give you this because it's a Friday game.
Folks,
But we got in last night on the Boston College Virginia Tech under the 47. But we couldn't give it to you because it wasn't a Saturday game; it was a Friday game. But we got it on it. We just want to let the viewers know. There's 20 points scored in the game. It's 17-3 BC, although Virginia Tech's driving, and there's only 10 minutes left in the game. So just want to let the viewers
folks,
know.
You'll be able to track that. You'll be able to track that starting Monday on the Twitter account.
The Twitter account. With our daily bets. That's right. Yep.
We're just going to give them for free.
We're going to give them for free. Yep. Give them for free.
All right. My third best bet is going to be the Chiefs -7.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
Yes.
Going back to beat that drum, huh? You haven't learned your lesson this year on Kansas City laying points, have you? Okay. Fair enough.
Yes. We haven't learned. We're just going to keep going to the well until it just drowns us. So we are barely above water here, and we are just waiting for that last bucket of water to pour on and drown me. So yeah, Chiefs -7.
Okay, perfect. So for this week of the best bets, we'll go with mine first because I gave my first ones first. No, I got New England -3.5, LA Chargers -1.5 at Philadelphia, New England -3.5 at Carolina, Dallas at home laying 10 against Denver. Game days got game day.
Denver. Okay. Yep.
Yeah, against Denver. Yep. Game day. Greg has got Buffalo -14.5. New England Buffalo on the road at Jacksonville -14.5. New England -3.5 at Carolina, and Kansas City -7 at home against the Green Bay Packers. The Jordan Love led Green Bay Packers. As a small note here, Buffalo is the team laying the most wood this week, a perfectly good wood. To give the correct credit to the person who came with that, it was not Forrest Major. It was actually Eric Baroni. So give Baroni the credit on the perfectly good wood. So.
Yes. Okay. Yes, I'm sure he's listening. All right, now let's get into the player props. Ben, I don't know if you have your player props ready for this week.
I don't. If you want to, you know me with the player props. It's with the seat of the pants. Pants.
Yes, seat of the pants for Benny. I put a little thought into it, and
we don't. We put.
I am behind. So
I put thoughts into my special. That's what I put my thoughts into. So
folks, if you had over the 3.5 in that upset special little yell there, you have now won. So congratulations. Yes, cash that ticket wherever you got that bet. But yeah, anyways, my three player props this week, folks. I was awful last week, 0-3. I will make sure to do better this time. Yeah. Anyways, first one is going to be Kyle Pitts over 64.5 receiving yards against the New Orleans Saints. It's Matt Ryan's number one go-to weapon against the Saints defense, where I could see the ball being thrown a lot. Seeing as the Saints almost give up 300 yards a game through the air, I like Kyle Pitts over the 64.5, and I can honestly, folks, see that happening in the first half. Now watch him get 63 yards in the game. That's just kind of how I roll with player props. Next player prop, I'm going to go Robert Woods.
What was that? I was trying to create my own player props here. What was your first one?
Yes. Kyle Pitts over 64.5 receiving yards.
Player props. Kyle Pitts over 64.5.
64.5.
-115.
Either that or -113.
Okay. All right. Are you using FanDuel or what are you using for this?
For player props, I am using the Buffalo Seneca Creek Casino player props.
Okay, I don't use that. I don't use that one, but
they're up for every team, which helps before actually doing this, because FanDuel sometimes just has like 4 games and like 2 players each. So
so he's got Kyle Pitts. Okay, who's your next one?
Kyle Pitts. Next one is going to be Robert Woods over 60.5 receiving yards. They're playing the Tennessee Titans in this one. I think the Rams will fare very well against the Titans. Cooper Kupp has been getting all the attention. And I don't know if you remember Benny Buckets, but that one week where Robert Woods was supposedly complaining about not getting enough targets, he went off for 150 yards and like 12 catches, 12, 13 catches. So I like Robert Woods over the 60.5 here. And then my final player prop is going to be a little different. I'm going to go Tyreek Hill over 6.5 receptions in the game.
Wow. Okay.
Yes, against the Packers. I think Patrick Mahomes is going to look for him early and often. I think they should be utilizing him more, get the ball in his hands and just let him run. The first guy is not going to tackle him. It's going to take the second or third guy to tackle him because he is so fast. He's the cheetah for a reason. So yeah, I like the over 6.5 receptions.
Okay. I'm going to go a little bit different here. I'm going to take a couple off the Bills here. Bills Jaguars game. Give me Zach Moss over 42.5 rushing yards against a very porous Chiefs defense. Jaguars defense rushing attack. So Zach Moss. And just so you guys know where I'm getting mine from the DraftKings, the great DraftKings.
DraftKings, okay. Yes.
Ironically, they are not the kings of all sports book, even though they have the name king.
No, they're not.
The king of all sports books is, of course, the self-proclaimed king of all sports books, the great MGM.
Aren't they down like $1.9 billion or something like that? I think it's something dramatic.
Who's down? Oh, what do you mean?
DraftKings.
They're losing. You mean the players are beating them? The players are beating their book. Is that what you mean?
No, I thought their valuation went down quite considerably.
Did it?
I could be wrong.
But
yeah, no. Well, folks, find that out for us, would you? So I can yell the upset special. So
yes.
There's one of your two comments. So you guys really only have to come up with one more comment in order for me to yell it in this apartment building.
Exactly.
So
the next one I'm going to give you guys is also out of that game. I'm going to go Trevor Lawrence over 224.5 passing yards.
Wow.
I just think they're going to be behind and have to throw the ball. That's why.
That makes sense.
They'll be able to run the ball very much. So pass yards. All right. And then I got to find a third one here. Give me a second, guys. Can I go back to the well here? Yes, I will, because I like the number. I'm going to go back to the well here. Worked last week. It's worked twice this year. Has 2-1 on this particular prop.
Folks, you know who it's going to be.
It's going to be Damian Harris, folks. Damian Harris. Sorry, I was a little distracted with this college football game. Sorry, Damian Harris over 68.5. Damian Harris rushing yards. The fourth time we have taken him this year. He went negative rushing yards in our first time we took him, so he didn't even get in the positive territory. But since then, he's 2-0 on the rushing yards prop. So Damian Harris over 68.5 rush yards. I noticed no Debo this week, huh? No Debo for you, huh?
No Debo this week.
No Debo and no Laviska Shenault either.
Or Jamar Chase. Yes,
or Jamar Chase.
We're staying away. We're gonna try something a little different. 0-3 can't get much worse than that.
Yes.
So yeah. All right, folks. That is going to do it for our Week 9 NFL preview show. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. I'm Game Day Greg alongside Benny Buckets. So long, take care.
Look for our Twitter account on Monday. It will be live on Monday with picks on Monday.
Live on Monday.
Daily picks, 3 picks you'll get on Monday, 3 picks Tuesday, same Wednesday through Friday, and then of course you'll get our weekly NFL and college picks as well. All free of charge here because we're just generous people. So
yes, just having fun. All right. So long, folks.
See ya.